One of the topics that confuse you the most is whether or not you should pursue a marketing degree or whether you should just go the self-learning route and not spend all that money and time on a formal education. And I really understand why you're asking this question. You want to know whether or not, getting a degree is going to guarantee that you have a job upon graduation and that you become a successful marketer. And you also want to explore the option of dismissing a formal education altogether and just doing self-learning and just getting experience in the industry and then kind of, diving into it. The very quick answer is that yes, you can get a job either way, but I don't think that is the only criteria that you should consider when you're comparing the two options. So that is what I'm going to talk about in this video. I want to evaluate with you both of those options and kind of want to show you the other perspectives about getting a formal education versus self-learning. So with that said, I'm not going to promote one option over the other. I just want to show you different benefits that each of them have and different cons that each of them have so that you can really evaluate the best option for yourself. And the best option is going to change depending on your circumstances, your abilities, and your priorities in general. But before I continue with my evaluation, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel already and hit the notification bell so that you'll get updates on new content. And some topics that you'll see on this channel are marketing, obviously, remote working, self-growth, productivity, and career tips. So let's get back to it. Benefits of getting a university education is really not only limited to getting a job, and I understand that is a priority, but you do get so much more from a university degree, whether it is undergraduate or master's degree. Essentially, I think you really go to university to get a vision. You get a perspective on life. You learn how to make mistakes. You learn how to get back on your feet. You get connections. You have a community when you go to a university. You are able to explore different fields. You take different courses. You learn what really interests you and what doesn't interest you. You are a part of social clubs. So you're basically a part of this social community and this learning community, and it really gives you much, much more than the prospect of getting a job. It can also give you a perspective and teach you the methods to analyze any subject, and that is actually one of the main things that I got from my university education as well, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in the end. But you really learn how to approach things, how to approach problems, and how to solve them. And that is a very, very important skill set. So you learn how to look at things, you learn how to analyze, and you learn how to solve problems. But the amount of value that you get from university education, it really depends on you and how open you are to receiving that information and that value into your life. Okay, now that is said, I want to move into how this really applies to studying a marketing degree. And just a little note about me, I am someone who loves being a student, and I see a lot of benefits to being a student, but I also see a lot of benefits to, just going another route. Hi guys, a little interruption to my own video by yours truly. So what I did was to ask you if you want any questions covered in this video, but the silly thing is that I read your answers after filming the video itself. And so I looked at the questions that you shared with me, and the main theme around all of the questions that you shared is if you are going the self-learning route, what are the sources, what is the way to do it, and you ask for recommendations on which sources you should follow. So that's a great question, but I think that's a video on its own because it is a long topic. So I decided that I want to cover that in a very detailed format with all of the resources that I think could be a good start for you. But in the meantime, there is another video on my channel that I think is related to this and that I think you'll find valuable, which is called free marketing resources to follow, or something along those lines, which I will link here and in the description bar below. So in the meantime, check that video out, but wait for the upcoming video where I will talk about all of the resources that I think will be very valuable if you are actually not pursuing a degree and just going the self-learning route. Okay, back to the video. About marketing, I don't think it is a topic that can be really studied in a classroom. You really need to get experience in the field. You really need to do some experiments. You need to be in the industry, in the professional life, to actually learn how marketing works. You need real customers to be able to solve their problems and to provide solutions for them. Another thing about studying marketing is that marketing is so dynamic and ever-changing that something you may study in your first year of university might have already changed by the time that you are in fourth year. No matter how well designed a marketing course or program is, I think as a student you still need to go ahead and do your own research. You need to follow the trends. You need to follow the sudden changes that are happening in the industry. On top of this, I really believe that everyone who wants to become a good marketer and who wants to gain experience has to have some side projects or side hustles, but you need to actually go ahead and practice what you're learning in school and put that into action. And my next point connected to this one is that a marketing degree is not going to give you experience in the industry, which is oftentimes a criteria that you'll see in many of the job postings. And I know how that feels because you simply feel shocked when you're looking at those job postings because you're thinking to yourself, you know, I completed this amazing degree with this amazing GPA, but they're still asking for experience. For real? Like, how was I supposed to get that experience is maybe something that you're asking yourself. And this is really why I emphasize the power of having a side hustle, a side project, or doing volunteer work, or doing an internship, or doing a trainee program after college or while you are still in college, so that you accumulate that experience and go into the industry looking for jobs with all of that on your resume already. I think we've established several points already. Number one is that having a marketing degree doesn't guarantee that you get a job right out of college. You still need the experience, you still need to work for it. Number two is the benefits of having a university education aren't limited to just increasing the chance of getting a job, but whether or not those values are important to you, or whether or not you have the means to go through that investment and timeline in your life, that is an individual decision and that is an individual evaluation that I think you should make on your own or with your family. And number three is, yes, you can get a job without a degree in marketing. And there is another dedicated video trying to answer that question, whether or not you can get a job with no degree in marketing. So you might want to check that out. I will link it over here and in the comments below. So if you ask me today what I would do, would I go ahead and pursue a degree? I would say yes. But this is very personal choice, and this is coming from someone who loves being a student and who has thankfully seen the benefits of being a student. If you were to only look at the possibility of finding a job and becoming a successful marketer, then I don't see many differences. But if you're looking at those two options and you're kind of evaluating this whole bigger picture, then there is a big difference in my opinion. And whatever you do is really a part of your journey, and you can make the best out of it or the worst out of it. I hope that my evaluation of these two options and my take on this situation helps you to look at it from another standpoint and helps you to make a better decision for yourself. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care.